Your phone feels like such an easy way to be a voyeur and to explore your options of the other sex. Not so fast. As we navigate the pain and the process and the possibilities of divorce here on the UnYoked Podcast with our Christian lenses on, we just have to dig down into this phenomenon that exploded during COVID in our frequently isolated lives, dating apps. And let's talk a little about dating in general. The first few episodes of the UnYoked Podcast focused on those considering or navigating a divorce. But now we're in the middle of the aftermath of divorce and in the landmines and in the opportunities. And some of those are dating and the online dating apps. Now I want a disclaimer here. When it comes to the order someone should walk down the newly single road, dating should not even be in the top 5 things to do post-divorce. But I already know it feels right to be in a relationship for many of us. We all fight loneliness to various degrees. And frankly, we get some highs from the attention, from the gamesmanship of dating or the flirting. So it's just a huge temptation for us and a lot of us in our early single life. But if you're within a year of your divorce, listen to this episode, don't act. But for the rest of us, let's dive deep. I put this episode early on the list because dating and the dating apps is where most people go when loneliness strikes. Now listen, to a lot of you girls listening, meeting in a grocery store, just creepy. Let's be honest. If I came up to one of you women listening right now while you were shopping, you would have your walls up high immediately. Clutch your purse. Us guys can't win. And then sometimes you women say, I never meet anybody. Well, that's because you don't look anybody in the eyes in public. You keep your earphones in at the gym and you only go out with your girl groups where if a man is walking up to you to say hi, he's walking into the lion's den. Many of you have your bubbles and they're almost impenetrable. And we don't like trying as guys and we don't like guessing whether we're even allowed to. So we just don't. Women are scared of creeps and men are scared of being creeps. It's like we're back in junior high again at the skating rink. Dating is hard. Dating as a Christian is even harder. Have you ever had someone throw shallow advice your way? Their flippant instructions are sometimes irritating, and sometimes it just feels condescending. When an answer is too simple and easy, it's generally because whoever lobbed it really hasn't dug down into the nuances of a situation. We single Christians here, just find yourself a girl in church. Well, don't I wish? Church single groups can be extremely awkward. More on that in another episode about church. The odds a relationship won't work is far greater than it will. If you love your church, you don't want a relationship to end your ability to call that your church home. And size matters. There are many churches too small to deal with the politics of dating within the walls. People taking sides or working overtime to try to matchmake. Choices are very limited unless maybe you go to a mega church. Small churches are like small towns. You know, I lived in a small town, and after my divorce, when I was ready to date, I did not date anybody in my small town. Well, why? Because there's only one gas station. I want to be able to go to it and not have to worry about who's coming over my shoulder. And if I have to have an awkward, conversation with somebody that I once dated, and I want to be able to go down every aisle in the Dollar General store without having to skip one because somebody's down there and they ghosted me or I ghosted them. So I just never dated in my own hometown. And that's sort of the same way it works with small churches, let's be honest. For Christians, the idea of meeting someone in church just isn't easy as it sounds. Now, I find this way truer with women than men, but sometimes we are pushed into dating. Our friends or even our children are tired of seeing us alone, maybe around the house, maybe even lacking purpose or even happiness. They want to see a smile on our faces. And maybe, selfishly, they want to see a smile on their faces. They want the double dates, the couple dinners, the foursome travel partners to go with. So they're pushing us into dating. If I've been told this once, I've been told it 20 times. My daughter made this dating profile for me. My friend runs my dating app account. I don't know too many men who had to be pushed into dating, but I know plenty of women who felt like they were. But let's say you are ready to meet somebody of your own accord and at your own speed. You need to think a little bit. What does dating mean to you right now? How are you going to manage this new event in your life? What rules do you want to govern your time and the energy level of this new venture? These are very interesting thoughts when you ponder them for a moment. Yes, most of us want a healthy relationship at some point, but not all of us are healthy enough to find our partner. And I can 100% assure you, there are so many unhealthy people out there in the dating pools. Without the right lenses, you will make big mistakes. Big ones. I can assure you I have. Now, there's stats. I don't know exactly what they are about how many years to be single post-divorce before you find yourself again, or maybe find yourself for the very first time. Some of you got married so young, you've raised your family, and you're trying to find yourself again. You never even had it. You were a mom, you were a wife, and now you're single, or you're a husband and you were a provider for your family. And now who are you? What are your hobbies? You don't even know. Without that lens of knowing who you are, how are you going to know who to go look for and what makes your best partner? You have no idea yet. When we come into dating without a plan, it can be dangerous and a costly trip. When we try to just fill the holes in our life, fill our time, fill our need to feel loved and appreciated. Well, listen, that's super easy, especially for you women listening. Dress nice, do your hair, create an online profile account, and you will get guys calling you pretty and offering to spend time with you in 5 short minutes. It's not hard. But what are you looking for? Are you looking for a life partner or just a date? Do all the dates have to be potential life partners? We're not teenagers anymore. The dating advice we got in our youth groups is not even close to applicable. We have much harder lives to navigate. Money, emotional, family, boundaries. It is so much more complex. Many of you want to date someone opposite of your ex, or maybe very similar, but without those flaws. I know quite a few people who tried to date the exact opposite of their ex-spouse. They found a trait that they felt so different, only to find they married their ex-spouse all over again. More of this phenomenon on a later full episode about dating and finding your right person. But it screams, you have to be healed to have a clear lens of what you want or need. Most of us gravitate back to the same type of people until we learn why we are attracted to that type of person and we fix it. But let's just assume you really are ready, you know what you want, and that you magically found someone who knows what they want too. How are you going to find each other? How many fish will you have to throw back before you find your next right partner?